Hello and welcome to The Discriminating Gamer, the board game review show that was always a bit more John Foster Dulles than Alan Dulles. My name is Cody. Say, do you like that Settlers of Catan? Today we're taking a look at another expansion. We're taking a look at Catan, Cities and Knights from Mayfair Games. Catan, Cities and Knights is another expansion for Catan. Now, again, I'm not going to tell you how to play Catan. You should know that already. It's been out for 20 years, probably the most popular board game ever. I'm not going to tell you how to play it. I am going to tell you how to play Cities and Knights. And here it is. Cities and Knights comes with a lot of different little features. Now, perhaps the most significant thing, or one of the most significant things, I should say, is commodities. Now, in addition to the resources, the 5 resource cards of Catan, you're going to be using 3 special commodities cards. Now, the commodities match wood, sheep, and ore. So if you have a city on a wood, sheep, or ore, and you roll it, you get one of the wood, sheep, or ore, and you get one of their matching commodities. If, on the other hand, you roll brick or wheat, if you've got a city there, you will still collect 2 brick or 2 wheat. Now, you also have the Barbarian tile, and the Barbarian tile essentially has a number of spaces in which a Barbarian ship is approaching the island of Catan. And what's going to happen is, as that ship approaches, you better be ready for it because the Barbarians are landing. Now, what's going to happen is when you roll the dice in this game, you actually roll a 3rd dice. So you roll the blue die, the yellow die, and you also roll a white die. Now, that white die may come up showing the ship symbol, the Barbarian ship symbol. When that symbol comes up, you move the Barbarians along the Barbarian track toward Catan. It may come up showing a certain colored city, and that's very important because that may help you as well. Now, every player is also going to have a development flip card. And this development flip card is essentially going to track the development of your cities. Now, there's different colors to kind of the buildings you are creating. There's green for science, there's yellow for trade, there's blue for politics. And as you develop these different kinds of buildings, you're going to be able to collect various progress cards. Now, when you roll the die and one of these colored cities comes up, you also check the red numbered die, and depending on what the number is, you may be able to also take a progress card. So the bigger your city is, the more development you have, the more likely you are to draw these progress cards. These progress cards, they're kind of like development cards in the original game, but there's a lot more things it brings to the table. There's a lot more options, there's more kind of take that cards, and there's also things that are going to benefit you in many different kinds of ways. Now, also critically, you can build knights, and you place knights in between the cities. And there's 3 different levels of these knights that can come out, and they're, of course, gradually more powerful. The first one's worth kind of 1 knight point, the second one is worth 2 knight points, the third one's worth 3. So their strength increases. But they come in inactive. There's kind of a black and white marker on one side, and they have to be activated. You kind of have to pay to activate them with a wheat token. You have to feed them. They become active, and they can help you out in the game. Now, the knights are going to be very important. They're going to help you get rid of robbers, but really one of the most important reasons you're going to have knights in this game is to defend yourselves from those barbarians when they land on the island. Now, when the barbarians land, you're going to determine their strength, and essentially their strength is equal to the total number of cities from all the players on the board. That's the barbarian strength. Then you're going to total up all of the strength of all of the active knights on the board. If there are more active knights than the strength of the barbarians, nothing happens. Essentially, you force them off the island. But if the barbarians, if their strength exceeds the knights, somebody's going to pay. Now, if the barbarians have the greater strength, essentially, whoever contributed the least number of knights, or the least number of knight points, to the defense of the island, one of their cities gets targeted, and it's reduced down to a settlement. So that person's going to lose, and that may happen to multiple people if they're ties, so that's kind of a scary thing. However, if the knights have equal to or greater strength than the barbarians, whoever contributed the most knight points is going to get essentially a victory point card that declares them a defender of Catan. So that is potentially a way to gain more victory points. There's a few other things here. Players can build city walls to try to defend their cities from barbarian attacks. They can lose the city wall instead of, reducing the city. There's also Metropolis. You can actually build like mega cities in this game that can be very useful as well. There's a few other variants that come with the game and ways you can kind of integrate it with previous expansions. So there's a lot of kind of flexibility in this game. The game is played until one player reaches 13 victory points. They are declared the winner of Catan, Cities and Knights. This Settlers and Knights expansion for Catan is just another fantastic expansion. I really enjoyed it. Now, I really, really like this foreign threat dimension the game brings to it, and how you kind of have this delicate balancing act of trying to defend your island, but at the same time, there's kind of an arms race going on with your knights for those cards, those defenders cards that are going to give you an extra victory point. It's fun, and it's an interesting new dimension. Also, too, the city development stuff is really fun. It just fleshes out the good stuff of Catan. Cities and Knights is frankly another, what I would want to say, just more of a good thing for Catan. I really, really enjoyed it. Now, a few weeks ago, I reviewed Seafarers of Catan, and I got to tell you, if you're weighing them, if you're looking, do I want Seafarers or do I want Cities and Knights, I would probably say go with Seafarers. I think I enjoyed that one more as a whole, and you can integrate these two expansions. I have not done that yet, but I think I preferred Seafarers more, but I really did enjoy Cities and Knights. I thought it just brought some really super fun elements and dynamics to a game that's already, a whole lot of fun, but maybe getting stale. The base game may be played quite a bit by a lot of people, and maybe you are looking to take it to that next level, the next challenge. Cities and Knights does that beautifully. Again, if you're somebody who plays Catan once in a blue moon, maybe it's something you use to bring non-gamers into the gaming fold. I don't know that you need an expansion like this or Seafarers, but if you really like Catan, you want to take it to the next level, as I say, pick up Cities and Knights. I think you will really, really get a kick out of it. So the recommendation for the discriminating gamer for Catan, Cities and Knights is, again, if you like Catan, buy it. Thank you once again for joining us today on The Discriminating Gamer. As always, we ask you to please leave us a comment on YouTube, on Board Game Geek, on our Facebook page, or on thediscriminatinggamer.com. We ask you to please like us on Facebook and subscribe to us on YouTube. We are The Discriminating Gamer. And the Settlers of Catan, the Settlers of Catan. There's only one thing that I like, and that is Settlers of Catan. They might be giants. I hope they don't sue.
Please somebody help me on my feet again, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know where I've been. Please somebody help me on the solid ground. It's a long time, and I'll be dying. Once a year I wind up in the band.
So, I will give you a wheat for that wood.
No. I need it.
But what I'm saying is, I will give you a wheat for that.
I don't need a wheat.
Holly, do you have wood?
I don't.
George, do you have wood?
Yeah.
I have an
No
ore.
one has wood.
I will give you a wheat